What happened? What was I going to do? I was going to do... Who's the rock? No, hold on. I guess so. Where is it?
Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for Renaissance Periodization. I am the creator of the Art of Hypertrophy app, and I'm professor of exercise and sports science at Lehman College in the Bronx, in New York City, in the United States, North America, in the Western Hemisphere on Earth, which is in the solar system. And it's the very same solar system from which Mr. Dwayne, aka The Rock Johnson, also comes from and resides and lifts weights and is so handsome.
Okay.
Me and The Rock on a beach, a deserted beach, a couple of unicorns running around, and we're running too. We're holding hands. That's how I see this video turning out. Let's see if I'm right by critiquing his exercise techniques. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, chains, brother. I saw a movie once called Bikini Chain Gang. It was an adult film. Are we getting canceled yet? What chains do is they create needless wobbling, which destabilizes your body and actually reduces force production by your shoulders. Almost every time you destabilize the system, it is unable to produce as much force as if it is stable, locked in, and grounded. So this is interesting variation. It makes for great Instagram views, but unfortunately is not nearly as effective as just a pair of dumbbells, which I know is too boring to put on the gram or the TikTok or the swipe or wherever the Rock's publicist posts shit. You just smash the camera with that. Oh shit, he broke the rest of the camera. Yeah, his technique's not terrible, though he's like kind of lurching forward at the bottom and then kind of rising up with more than just his shoulders. I would love for him to do this either seated or standing with dumbbells, really locked into position and doing it with strict control. Maybe if Max Strasny, our editor, is worth anything at all, he'll put a video of Jared Feather doing proper lateral raises in there, or at least someone that's doing it right. But, you know, Max fails us, so he'll probably f that up too. Always treat your employees like you treat yourself, poorly and with disdain. I would like to come up to The Rock. I'm noticing his tattoos. In my ideal world, I come up to The Rock and I'm like, hey. And he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, what do your tattoos mean? And I just don't care what he says after. Blah, blah, blah. Jawline, beautiful face. And I'm like, yeah. Just say whatever, The Rock. Just grab me already. Just hold me, please. I need therapy. All right, now we have standing dumbbell curls. Yeah, pretty good. Coming up nice and high. I would like to see him come back a little bit more at the bottom to get that stretch. And also, you'll notice he's leaning forward at the bottom. That leverages him to lift the weight properly, but it leverages his biceps into a stronger, less exposed, less potential for muscle growth position. You want to expose the muscles, putting them into disadvantaged position. So they really have to work their way out of there. So what I would like to see from him is for him to stand up straight and push his chest out at the bottom and really bring his arms back, stretching the living dog shit out of those biceps. This isn't terrible yet. Let's see if it gets better, worse, or neutral. Yeah, so he stopped sort of before lockout. Again, I would like to see a bigger stretch at the bottom. Oh, I think he's doing some of his reps like partial at the bottom and some he's swinging up real high. Seems a bit arbitrary.
Yeah, that's like, I think that's alternating partial.
Yeah, alternating bottom end partial and full range. Not terrible. Pretty good idea. Interesting to try to track it, but I think this is quite good. Again, if you're going to do the bottom end partial, you might as well get the big stretch at the bottom. That's kind of why you're doing it. All right, now we have preacher curls. These are very good. No critique so far. I would like to see him get all the way down to a big stretch at the bottom, but that's just me being nitpicky. This is great. Man, he literally has a sign in the gym called Project Rock. It's got the video guy, is RP the wrong name? Should this be Project Mike? No, wait. Rock's not his given name. What's my nickname?
I'm not allowed to say that out loud.
Yes, it is a racial slur for the Jewish peoples. Figure that one out. Self-appointed, by the way. Don't call me that online because they will block you, but I'm good with it. If you see me in real life, call me that shit any day. Great. Wow, what quality and control. Oh, shit, here we go. Range reps, which are a fucking waste of time. Just a few of them. Not terrible because he did them at the end when he's already tired. This is a very good set. The Rock, you're back on my green list.
Being a wedding planner is all about organization, and Honeybook is how I organize all my proposed.
A good list. Like Santa Claus, except I don't bring you any presents. I just judge the fuck out of you on the internet. Ugh, I'm pathetic. All right. We've got Smith Machine Rows. Okay, first the good things. He's getting a good stretch at the bottom, which is great. He doesn't seem like he's swinging a lot, which is also great. He's bent over for the general gym and fitness populace quite well. I'd love to see him bend over considerably more for two reasons. One, it leverages you to use more of your back and have to use less external weight. It stretches your muscles more, so it's actually going to cause more muscle growth if you're really bent over. And two, I just kind of want to see The Rock bend over further. Why do I keep doing this? I'm a heterosexual man. I have a wife at home. But The Rock, you just see him, and I'm like, what am I even? Should I be in Hollywood? Can I just smell The Rock? All right, in any case, the bad. The chains on the sides are a big fucking problem. Here's why. One of the big disadvantages of a barbell row of any kind is that it's mechanically disadvantageous the higher up you go. So closer to your tummy, this is where you usually fail. But down here in the stretch is where you actually want to fail because you want the limiting factor to be the most hypertrophic part of the movement, which is the big bottom stretch. The bent over row doesn't do that well. So it's in some sense, at least, a little bit inferior in that regard. But how can you make it worse? Well, you put fucking chains on it so that it's even harder at the top when the chains leave the ground and even easier at the bottom when the chains touch the ground and deload the bar. This is taking an exercise that's actually very good for the back, though maybe not ideal, and making it even worse. This is a modification that looks fancy that makes it worse. It's like we're back in fucking Hollywood again, huh, fellas? They actually modified the squatting motion, which would normally be done on a flat, stable surface. Only in fucking Hollywood can you take a movement that was just your body weight squat with no equipment. That would have been the superior movement, and you made it worse. Oh shit. Big ass Smith machine incline wide grip press coming up. Folks, I will eat my shoe if he actually touches his chest on all of the reps. Ha, shoe's not on the menu, fellas. God damn it. Folks, the bottom end range for the 50,000th time is the one that grows you the most. And I know it's uncomfortable to be all the way over here feeling your pecs tear apart, but would it be crazy if I told you that you're in the gym training chest in order to get your pecs to basically rip apart in a controlled manner? And yeah, you won't be able to lift as much weight. But again, other than the girl that you will never fuck anyway because she's never noticed you, who you think cares about weights but doesn't, nobody gives a shit about how much you lift if your goal is physique, period. You guys want to see more of this video with more unedited raw footage and crazy wacky takes we can't legally put on public YouTube? Join our members section to get the full length version of this video. Give it some thought. Okay, looks like we have some dumbbell squats. Okay, so this is kind of like a dumbbell sumo deadlift / squat situation. I assume he's training the glutes, hopefully not the quads. There's not a lot of knee flexion. What I'll say about this exercise is a few things. The Rock is kind of like a real life Superman, so he weighs like, I don't know, like 240 or something, maybe even more. There is not a dumbbell unless you're in Brian Shaw's gym and there's like 300s around, which is going to challenge him in this movement. So using a dumbbell here means the external load is probably too low. If he just did one swap, it would be just get rid of the dumbbell and just get a barbell. This is one of these things that if you're not particularly strong, you haven't been lifting a long time, and you're much older or much younger, you can actually use the dumbbell in this style to get a really great workout. But The Rock probably can't because he's so jacked. It just makes sense. Like, so for example, just using me, I can get a lot out of a deadlift of this nature, anywhere between, let's say, 400 and 600 pounds. Let's not cut many slack today, 400 pounds. What the fuck am I going to do with like a 150-pound dumbbell even, which is like bigger than most dumbbells in most gyms? How much stimulus am I getting with 150 pounds in the deadlift? Like, that's my first warm-up. I can do 150 pounds of deadlift until I get like rabido or pass out from not enough oxygen. It's just not training the muscles a lot because the external load is too low. Very typical Hollywood thing, unfortunately, making things look hard when in reality to the muscle that they're targeting, they're not that hard. I will say the cadence is very good, slow eccentric, nice pause at the bottom, and then a smooth concentric. Very excellent. I just kind of wish he wasn't doing it with a fucking dumbbell. Damn it. And he could probably go a lot deeper if the dumbbell wasn't standing straight up like that. So a barbell with some 25s loaded on it, it would just be better. Just better. Sometimes there's nuance. Sometimes things are just better. Ooh, weighted dips. Okay. The chains on the neck